And one place for Real Madrid, Carvajal. Ian, it just shows that the DNA, because we're talking about clubs like Real Sociedad and Bilbao and so forth, that DNA of football runs very deep in La Liga. It's not just the super clubs at all.
It's not, like you say, it's not just like they've just turned up in the tournament and all of a sudden they're playing great stuff. We saw Xavi and Iniesta and David Villa. We've seen what they were capable of and the way they play under pressure. Even when they get pressure, they continue to play how they play because that's in their DNA, and nothing's going to change. What the thing is, the frightening thing now is that we've seen now they're producing these wingers now, so they can play and they can go direct.
Strange enough, one of the teams in Spain that doesn't play that way is Atletico Madrid.
Yes,
that's coached by Simone. He's a bit more different mindset and a different DNA.
Very defensive.
But having said that, let's
mindset.
not get carried away with the possession side as well. They played Germany. Germany had a touch more possession, so they know how to win different ways.
Yes.
So, that's a big plus for them, obviously.
I think there's a couple of things that were sort of slightly different. Usually you see a Spanish team playing a 1 in midfield and a 2 in front. That's how they've played for years. These played obviously a 2 holding with Ruiz and Rodri and 1 in front. And then sometimes you've seen Spanish teams play with a false 9 and not play with a centre forward. He's unashamedly gone with Morata, played him up top and said play every single game and wants that focal point. So it is a different type, and the 2 wide players are a little bit different than you'd expect as well. So it's a slightly different twist on a Spanish team, but most of these players have come through with De La Fuente in the youth teams with Spain for over the last 5-10 years, so they know him, they know his style of play, they obviously respect him a lot.
On top of all that, technically, whatever tactics or systems they're playing, they can all deal with the ball, they deal with tight areas, they know how to get out of situations. The goalkeepers are really good with their feet. They really started out the last few years, going back with Pep, with the goalkeepers he had.
We can bang on and on about tactics, but as a wise man once said to me, good players win matches, don't they? We can actually talk ourselves into a hat. 2012 was the archetypal false 9, wasn't it, then? And now, I remember when we watched them play Morocco in the World Cup and they lost on penalties, we were like, wake us up when it's all over, because they're going to pass the ball for all time before someone has a shot.
And Matt, the reason they were 5th favourites before this tournament wasn't because of the midfield. You wondered whether the 2 talented wide players would really be consistent, and you didn't think they could score a goal again because Morata's up top. And you wondered at the back with likes of Nacho, Lenormand, Cucurella, whether they would actually be able to cope defensively. They've been brilliant defensively, they've been fantastic up top, and the balance of the team overall has been held together perfectly by that midfield.
Let's have a... Cole Palmer's somebody we wanted to mention, because we started the season in August at Wembley, Manchester City against Arsenal. Cole Palmer scored for Manchester City that day, which seems like a different galaxy, doesn't it? What a season he's had. What's impressed you most about the way he goes about his job, Ian?
Well, I think what impresses you is that if we're talking about the Spanish players and the way they play, then he's somebody that you could probably say he could probably fit into the way they play. He plays how he plays. He's very calm. He's very good on the ball. He doesn't give the ball away. He doesn't rush things. Everything's got a little bit of quality about it. You know, his passes will be in the right place where they need to be. You know, the way he links play, the way he passes the ball for, even when he came on and set that up for Ollie Watkins, he's a top quality player.
Mark, Joseph, when you speak to international players about English players, this is a big chance of...
That's great from Olmo there.
Yeah. I mean, if you speak to the international players who've got like German players or Spanish players or Italian players or French players, they do think that our players are good enough to play in their teams or in their football. They can't work out why, as a country, we don't play as well as we can do. It's a mystery to them as much as it is a mystery to us.
It's a mystery to the whole world.
Yeah, of course, but you can't get away from England's style of play. In every country, Argentina, Brazil, we're talking about Spain because they've won tonight. England that was a chance of bringing it into extra time.
Do you think Declan Rice should have done better with that header from that corner?
No, it's on target.
Is it the target mark? You're being harsh.
I think you're being harsh. I think this has got a power.
Well, it was a question.
No, I asked your job. I know. My job is to answer.
That's my job.
No, I thought he'd done okay. It was on target, and they nearly got the rebound, so it wouldn't be too hard.
The first header you're talking about, Mark.
Yes.
I just thought the first one maybe just looks like he tries to sort of like guide it a little bit too much, and rather than just boom, one of those. I mean, I'm not a header of a ball. Like I used to. Just not one goal in his career.
You look at Mark Gay as centre half. He's just done exactly what you should do. He's reacted. He's got it on target. And Olmo has made it unbelievable.
Oh yeah, Olmo's done brilliantly there, has he?
You know, but we can't get away from the fact that they missed some chances, Spain, that they should have taken as well.
They missed plenty of.
We didn't keep the ball well enough. Every single England manager has said the same thing. Every single England player has felt the same thing, because we've lived it out there on the pitch where we've been chasing around and our legs have gone, and we've ended up dying on our feet in the latter part of games whereby the other team looks stronger, and it's repeat, rinse, repeat. And these lads have done brilliantly well to get to a final. They got further than we ever got, but some of the same patterns occur.
Is that because of the nature of the Premier League and what I'm saying we as the crowds, as the punters, because we deserve a game played at a certain speed? Is that part of the problem, Ian?
I don't know, Mark. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to think about like the Premier League and when you look at the players we've got. You know, you look at Foden, Gay, Pickford, Saka, Mainu, Walton coming through. You know, Bellingham. Fact is, it's being an England fan. It's being a fan. That, you know, you just, like Roy said, you have to go again. You know, it's unfortunate, but like me and Gary's talking about, maybe the coaching, what we need to do to maybe get at the point was very, very tough for us today, especially because no one could tell me we haven't got the players to play. Can't tell me we haven't got Bellingham and Foden and Mainu and Palmer and Saka. We haven't got the players to actually do this. We need to find a way to do this. And as much as we're despondent and it's very disappointing now, I look at that list of players and I think, okay, well, let's go again. And it's going to be very difficult because even when you listen to Gareth there, he almost was speaking like he's distanced himself from England already there. So we have to find a way to go again, and we have to make sure that our young players who are in that dressing room are feeling this, realise that, you know, they're the ones who are going to have to take up the next.
Interesting thing, though, obviously the top two of the league last season were both coached by Spaniards, Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta. So
the Spanish coaches, the Spanish players have been brilliant for the last 30 or 40 years. They've had difficult stuff.
Why the England team can't keep the ball better when there is that. I'm not saying that obviously they don't play for City and Arsenal, but that the ethos is there at the top of the game in England.
Yeah, of course. But the Spanish are one of the best teams in the world in terms of retaining possession. That was always going to be an issue for England. It's been a struggle throughout this tournament for England. So again, there's no surprises tonight. You step back and look at the bigger picture. We talk about grassroots and the quality of coaches, etc. Yeah, that all goes into the mix. But tonight, let's analyse tonight. You can't fault England players. They've given everything they had. But Gareth simplified it there. They were beaten by the better team. They had the better chances. They've been the best team throughout the tournament. Take your medicine. I always say you have to lose to win. You have to step back and regroup and go again.
Mark, we tried to win during this tournament. I mean, we did keep possession in some games, but we were playing against inferior opposition. We tried to win in moments, and you can win games in moments. And I said at half-time, we had a counter-attacking strategy by playing deep and defending sort of, if you like, compactly, but we didn't have the pace on the break to be able to carry the ball forward quickly. So it was a bit of a catch-22 for us, that we were stuck in between trying to keep possession as a team with the players we had on the pitch, but actually sat deep, which meant we couldn't get up the pitch because we didn't have the Gordons and the Watkins on the pitch. So I feel that was a factor in the game as well. But coming back to it, it's so bloody hard to play without the ball. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. It's late, Gary.
Look, I think they were the best team in the tournament. We didn't quite keep the ball well enough, but we were right in it until the last 10 minutes. So, yeah, I'm devastated for everybody, really. Players have been absolutely incredible. So proud of what they've done, but yeah, we've just fallen a little bit short.
When Cole Palmer equalises, did you think, here we go again? It's that resilience again.
Yeah, no question, because we had a little bit of momentum in the game at that point as well, and there's a big chance at the end to equalise as well, but probably across the 90 minutes, I'm not sure we did quite enough.
Do you think maybe the comebacks of the last few weeks caught up with the team physically, emotionally?
Yeah, possibly. I just think against Spain, they press well. You have to keep the ball when you win it back, and defensively we were fine in the first half. We just needed to retain the ball a little bit more. You know, in the end, maybe that is the bit that takes more out of your legs as well.
Were the players in the physical condition you would have liked? Optimal condition? When you look at Harry maybe, and Jude Bellingham, who's had to go to the distance in so many games.
Yeah, look, there's no hiding from the fact that we've had a lot of issues coming into the tournament. We've managed to deal with most of them. We've managed to get Luke out tonight, but yeah, in the end we've just fallen short.
Do you look on this as a tournament, a successful tournament, a history-making tournament, obviously, first on foreign soil, or a missed opportunity?
Yeah, well, probably both, frankly. I think the players have got to take enormous credit for getting us to the point we did, but then when you're as close as that, you've got to take those chances.
What are you most proud of?
Just the way that they've fought, they've represented the shirt with pride. They've never been beaten until the very end. 5 minutes of the last game. The character and the resilience that they've shown. Like I said, I just think tonight we didn't quite keep the ball well enough to. They had more control of the game, and I think that was probably the bit that made the difference.
This job is hugely demanding. Have you more to give? Have you more you want to give?
Yeah, look, I don't think now is a good time to make a decision like that. I've got to talk to the right people, and yeah, it's just not for now.
This team, though, a lot of this team have more to come, don't they? Young men going to the next World Cup with a lot more potential from this group of players.
Yeah, no, look, I think England are in a really good position in terms of the experiences they've got now, the age of the squad. You know, most of this squad are going to be around not only for the World Cup but the next Euros as well. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to, but you know, that's not. Yeah, at this moment, that's not any consolation here.
It's no consolation. Gareth, thank you very much. Commiserations, and well, it's been a tournament, obviously, where you say England have made their mark.
Thank you.
Well, Mark, I have to say, obviously us two feeling rather somber, but next to me here, Gaizka Mendieta has been incredibly classy with his celebrations. I know that inside you want to scream and celebrate as much as you can. How are you feeling? Congratulations.
I'm great, thank you very much. I'm great. It's been a great final. I think that the guys mentioned it. It's not like England lost. I think it's Spain won it, and the way they did it. I mean, there's many things to talk about. Especially, I think it's important for us with this new generation, the young players, and making history with the fourth Euro. So I think, yeah, a lot of emotions. Happy for the guys because, like England, they went through difficult times in the beginning, especially a lot of questions and doubts. And I'm sure now that we proud of what they've done. Resilience is another word that comes in my mind when you think about someone winning this kind of tournament. So yeah, happy for Luis, the coach. I think when you are a football player or professional and you know it, like when people doubt about you, question about you, it gives you like fuel. It gives you like a boost, and I think that's what the guys did here today.
Let's talk about the first goal for Spain and how quickly it happened after the break, and for you, how important that timing was.
I think it was very important because the first half, England, I think defensively were very good, very, very disciplined, trying to keep the flanks especially. But here, just come off the halftime. Obviously, Spain knew what did it wrong, and this time did it right. Lamine Yamal inside, links up with Nico. So obviously, we have two of the best players of this tournament for Spain, and I think also in the whole tournament. And I think kind of other teams what they are. The one coming inside, standing between the defenders, and then the other volleyball. They're the same. You get Nico wide open. The principles are the same. Stay wide. We see the defenders of England not really managing to cope.
We did hope that was offside. We hoped it was offside there, guys, but obviously it wasn't. And Karen, there was a moment in between those two goals at 1-1 when it felt like there was potential momentum shift, and the guys in the studio were talking about it as well. Were you surprised that England didn't make the most of it, take advantage more?
Well, it turned into a end-to-end boxing match, and it was counter-attacking football, and that's when you're at your most vulnerable. And I thought we went for it, but that was actually how we got done on the counter-attack. And for me, the most disappointing goal was the first goal, because it's the timing. Usually you come out after half-time and you're organised and you're set. So then we were always on the back foot, and yes, we've gone behind in all the other knockout games, but you can't go behind in the manner and keep fighting and fighting and think we're going to get through in the final. And that was disappointing, but I think everyone watching the game knows that Spain deservedly won it and they were the better team today. But honestly, I feel sick seeing the players there at the end. We were right by the England players, seeing them. I felt sick and gutted for them, to be brutally honest.
Of course, look, some of those players were inconsolable, but guys, get these players, and especially those two you can see there, Williams and Yamal, were just absolutely incredible. Wise beyond their years in terms of tournament football. So calm, as you saw in those goals combining together as well.
Yeah, very, very likely similar in the sense of, even if a very young age, 17, I mean, Yamal, the composure, the experience today. I think today both, because it's very difficult when you play against a team that doesn't leave you space, that makes it difficult for you. You need to keep trying to find the way you think you want to win the game. And those two really believe in that throughout the game. And they carry on this team in not only in the final but throughout the tournament.
That little one there is probably going to be in the squad next time, isn't he? My goodness.
We have him and Messi on the photo.
Yeah.
The next one,
Yeah. A word on Rodri, player of the tournament, very quickly.
Yeah, I think it was key. The anchor, the leader in this team, allowed the fullbacks and the wingers, allowed the whole team to kind of articulate perfectly.
And we say goodbye to Navas as well.
And Navas, yeah, fantastic.
Career.
I know that well. What a palmarès.
Yeah, absolutely right. We'll be back with these guys in a little bit.